Yes.
See, that's a good sized rock.
Yep.
There's one over there too. But with this guy goes, being there's no fish in there now, because I took them out.
Right.
Chances are that you would find somebody that would take care of koi that are 32 inches long,
Not good.
not, they would die.
Right.
All right, and I gave them to for nothing to a koi club, which you can see anytime you want if you contact them, and they're down in a 22,000 gallon,
Wow.
whatever 40 some thousand. It's down in DeSales, by DeSales University,
Okay.
and they have them all down there, and they sent me pictures of them. And anytime I want to go down to see them, I can.
Nice.
But what I do, now let me tell you what I do, and I don't care what Ed Salt tells you. He's the best. He's the only guy that didn't run away when he saw this.
Okay.
What I have him do is, because I don't want to mess with this. This is a sprayed-in liner, like a rhino liner.
Okay. So it's like
That's like you see it in shows.
yeah, it's like gunite.
No, it isn't gunite.
No?
It's plastic.
Okay.
And they put a membrane down, and then they spray this two-part mixture over the membrane, and then in about 3 seconds it's hard,
So it's
and you
really
can bend it in half, and you can walk on it,
Oh, no kidding.
and it's all sprayed with that. If you have a problem with the floor drain, which everything, the pipes run underneath, you can cut a section out of that.
And then you
And then-
remembrane it and re.
Yeah, and then you put the membrane down, and they have
So
a
it-
paint on epoxy.
So it really was like a rhino liner.
It is like a rhino liner. It's like $8 a foot.
Did you
but
actually do this,
I had my friend do it,
buddy?
and nobody when they see it, they run away because
They don't know what it is.
they don't know what it is. They never dealt with it.
The membrane that he used was like the kind you
Cloth.
use on roofing
It's a
membrane.
cloth.
Yeah, I know what it is. Okay.
How deep is that? What's
4.5 feet. It's when the blue herons come, they sit on there. Fish go down the bottom, and they look up and they laugh at them.
So that was the question I was going to ask: is what keeps the fish from getting picked off?
Nothing. They go down the bottom and they laugh at the heron.
No
And
kidding.
they come around here and they stand on there.
Really?
Now, being I had koi. Koi get real big.
Yeah.
The reason you have this is the koi get big and they put stuff. I had 15 of them in there,
Okay.
and they were like this big.
Yeah, we
Wow.
saw them.
Yeah.
And they put a lot of ammonia into the water with their waste.
Oh.
And when they do that, they balance the water. Actually, that ammonia and I put salt in it. Salt is good for their skin, any fish, their skin. And the food, they weren't eating it. And their poop, when they poop. Well, now it's not, the balance is off.
Okay.
When you put fish in it, and I don't care what kind you put in there, you can put fantail in there. You can put myself. If you want to mess with koi, fine. Koi are sometimes if you start from little, and you get fantail and koi and mix them, the koi and the fantail won't fight. They'll grow
Okay.
up together. But sometimes the koi get real angry at one another, and they fight, and they don't like the other fish. Koi are a different breed of animals
Okay.
or fish. So there's a different, you got to look at what you want. And
I have no
and
idea.
That Ed Salt, it's neat when you get everything going.
Yeah,
it's
I'll
like
bet.
a park.
Yeah.
It's nice and it's relaxing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, and the floor drain, that's
Did you actually like feed them and just come out and feed them?
They would come. Yeah, they would come. I got
Well, you have
Japanese.
to,
food.
right?
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
get that, but I didn't
Gotta
know.
feed them because
And
they'll starve to death.
They would come out and you could pet them.
Yeah.
Really?
They would
my
come out
son.
about that much out of the water.
my
and
son
you could paint
Michael-
the back of,
Yeah.
cut the back of their
Yeah,
head.
absolutely. My son Michael raised koi, and when they got too big for his tank, we brought them to a commercial nursery. It had a koi pond, and that's what we gave them. and he was able to pet them, just like you said. He was actually able to pet his fish.
That's
So-
right. And
He was very
vegetables,
excited about
and
this.
and they ate. They you could feed them vegetables. If you put spinach or salad in, they would go through it.
Wow.
That back there was original. That's like 300 gallons, but that was I used it for a bog because I always thought that you could put in with koi, you could put plants in there. Or when they get bigger, the koi will rip the plants apart.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
In fact, the koi knocked those rocks out
No
of the
kidding.
side of the wall.
no kidding.
Yes.
And like Koizillas.
Yeah. And what I do back in that shed is I use this. I don't put any plants in it. And what I do is I take that sub pump, that little sub pump that was back there that I showed you, a little one.
Okay.
That you can have too. And
It's like a pony pump, right?
yeah, I
Yeah.
put it in there, and then I'll show you back. We'll go back there and I'll show you the hoses I use. And what I do is I shut the pond off. Every time you do something with that filter, you're going to shut the switches off.
Oh, so you
Go
need
back
a
to the
box
pond
to put
area.
the fish in.
Well, Ed Salt, what he does when I call him, like in the spring, now it's pretty clear, but what he does is he brings two real big containers in.
Oh.
And then he takes all the fish out. He goes in there if he has to with the waders and gets them by hand. And he puts them in those tubs, puts air in there, and then gets in there and scrubs this out, power washes it,
Really?
and then he gets it up and running for.
He takes the water out?
Yeah, he pumps it out over there by those pine trees.
No.
And how
Yeah.
often is
He
that?
he does that. Now I don't know what he'll do now, but I just talked to him yesterday, and I told him, I said, I don't think you have to go through all of that. I have little plastic containers. I think that all you have to do is drain the pump and that, and drain the shut the pump down, drain the water out of the filter,
Right.
and shut off, do whatever he has to do with the pipe or take it apart so it doesn't drain the pond. And he puts plugs in. There's plugs that he puts in. And then I think you're fine. You don't have to cover it because there's no fish in it. That's what I